Hey guys, it's Kylie and today's video is a Perler Bead design. So I'm gonna show you a Perler Bead designs. There's a couple of them. I am making them as FE gift magnets for our cruise. So I'm gonna just show you my process in making the, putting the beads together, how you iron them to make them all stick together and they don't fall apart, and then putting the magnets on so it makes it into a magnet as a gift for our FE gift. So here we go. So I'm just gonna show you on the table. So this is what we're gonna be working with. What we'll be making is this design actually over here. We'll be making this cruise boat design. So here is the design itself if you want to screenshot this so you can get the pattern. We're gonna be making the Disney cruise boat, so it's got the Mickeys and the Smokestacks and different things like that. And then we'll also be making this one right here. This is a Mickey anchor design. So here, this is what it looks like. So if you want to screenshot it, get the design pattern. This one's smaller, so you're able to fit two on the one base plate. They're 32 by 32 pegs. Versus the cruise boat, you can only fit one. So we're gonna start with the cruise boat. I'm probably gonna time-lapse, I'll get it started and then I'm gonna time-lapse it through on me making it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm just gonna start with these two piles of blue that I have here. I also have these tweezers, so if it gets tight, I just pick up two on the tweezers and go, okay, diagonally there. Okay, so we finished the blue, so this is what the blue ends up looking out like. So I'm just going to take the blue beads that I have loose around here, and I'm just going to put them all in this. I have a tray up there that just has a bunch of blue beads in it, so I'm just going to put them up there and go through, just sort them out a little bit to put them back in their bags later. So now we move on to a row of red beads. Here, I'll have that one there so you can see it. So we go on to that row of red beads right here, along that. It's not all the pegs, but as you saw in the original design, I'm just gonna do that row of red beads and I'll do the row of white beads and I'll come right back. Okay, so I finished the red and white rows of this boat, so they're the bottom of the boat that you see. So now I'm gonna move on to the black. This is a black section. I'm gonna do the whole black section, so it has these gray, they're the portholes that you see. I'm going to actually just go through and do the whole black section without the portholes, and then I'll go in and pick out the beads that are the portholes. So I'll probably end up with extras, and I'll pick out the beads that are portholes and then put the grays in after, versus trying to put the grays down as I'm doing the black. I just find it easier to do all 3 rows of the black and then move over. Okay, so now I'm kind of going in and leaving gaps. These ones I left gaps, and now I'm going to just kind of go in and pick out the extra beads that are in there that actually are where those gray beads should be. So if I'm just going through every other, that's how it is. The pattern is in picking out the gray beads, and there leaves 2 at the end. So now I have the black section with, you can see little holes in it on where those go, and these few extra black beads I'm just going to put to the side because I'm going to need them later to do the top up here where you can see the top of the red where the black is. I'm going to be using those later for that, so I'm just going to put them off to the side to use them then. So from there I'm going to put in a couple gray beads. You only need a few, but just put them in their little holes. These that make little holes for them, so you just kind of place them in and they usually go in pretty easily. If you have any questions about any of these designs, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I found these designs just off of the internet, and then some of them I've had for I found them years ago and just used them. I found it especially for the cruises, they're really good magnets, and people like to decorate the door with magnets, and they if you just take a strip of sticky magnet, which I'll show you later, and put them on the back, they're very popular. I've gotten them as FE gifts. I give them out as FE gifts. Or you can just decorate it if you're a Disney fan. Just decorate your fridge or anything with them. or you can make them also into keychains. Some people like to leave like a few bead gap at the top and make them into keychains. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching this design. So now I'm going to move on to the yellow strip that's up that. I'm going to do the yellow and then I'm going to do the white. I'll show you how I'm going to do the white. So I'm going to do the white the same as I did the black. I'm going to put a bunch down and then I'm going to leave gaps because there's clear beads and there's these yellow beads to show the lifeboats. So I'm just going to do a strip of yellow and then I'll go in I'll go in and put all the white in that has, I'll leave these gaps for the clear beads and the yellow beads, and then I'll show you how I put those in. It's just gonna be like the same as the gray. Just place them in the empty holes that you see. Yeah, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just throwing in the last couple beads in the little holes that I created. These ones are the lifeboats. The yellow color I use, I actually use cheddar instead of yellow. It's more of like a Mickey, like orangey yellow. If you think of like cheddar cheese, it's like more of like an orange yellow. And I find that actually looks better with the Disney logo, because when you look at things, it's more of like a goldy yellow. For a lot of like Mickey shoes or like the typical Mickey stuff, he's like a gold color, so I use that as my yellow. So cheddar makes like the perfect yellow to make that goldish yellow look. So I'm just putting in the last couple of lifeboats that are that cheddar yellow color. And then all I have left is the smokestacks to put in. Those are the Mickey smokestacks, so I'm gonna they're gonna have like a white beads to look like Mickey's head in them. They're just a couple beads wide, so I just have 5 red beads across. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying this video, don't forget to leave a like if you have found this video helpful, and leave any comments down below if you have any questions about designs or just want to see other videos like this or have any video ideas or anything you want to see from this channel. If this is your first video of mine, check out some of my other videos. I do a lot of Disney related videos, as well as Lego and other like vlog and tech videos, but my main focus is Disney. And if you enjoy a lot of my videos, don't forget to click the subscribe button with the notification, and you'll be notified anytime I post. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So be sure to check out my channel at those times and put a subscribe with the bell notification, and YouTube will send out a notification when I post my videos. Just for some reason, if I'm not posting at that time because I forget to, or like I'm busy or something, if there's a problem, it will send you a notification when the video does go live. So right now I'm just finishing up putting in these smokestacks, and once I do that, we'll be moving on to the Mickey anchor design. Okay, so that's the end of the cruise boat design, and we will now be moving on to making the Mickey anchor design. Okay, so this is the Mickey anchor design that I showed you at the beginning. This is what it looks like. I'll leave that there for as a reference. So it's just 3 colors. This one's a little bit simpler. It's just red for the bottom of the anchor, and then it turns into Mickey's head that's black, and it's got a white outline to it. So how I like to start this is to start with the red on the bottom. So the first peg for the red is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over. So I could just count over 7. 1, 2, 3. It's on the second row too. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I just work my way up from there. I'm going to do all the red and the black. And then once I do the red and the black, I'm going to go in and outline it with the white. The white just gives it like a nice look and ties it all together, versus just keeping it as the red and black kind of keeps it it's a little split, and it's still pretty thin, so when you go to iron it usually just breaks. So I'm just going to go through and throw in the red beads and then the black beads, and then followed by those white beads. If you just follow the pattern, this one's a much simpler design. It's easier for like beginners to do, where that's just a much more detailed and complex design. This is just an easy small craft idea. So now we're going to go into the black design. So that's all you see. It's only those few beads for red, and now we go into black and to make the Mickey head. It's actually like the cross part of the anchor and then the Mickey head. Okay, so there's the black. That now looks like the Mickey head with an anchor, and all we have to do is outline it in white to like tie it together to look that right now it's very like split. The white just kind of gives it a nice tie together. So I'm just gonna take white beads and outline it. It's just like a single outline, some of them, so you just kind of follow around and like add one or two to the outside of everything. Okay, so we've now finished this design. I added the white around the outside. And we are now going to go take our designs and iron them and turn them into magnets. Okay, so now it's time to iron them. So all you're going to do is take some wax paper. I'm just going to shut that door. Take some wax paper and lay it over the top of your design. So I just ripped off a piece of wax paper. I'm going to lay it over the top. You want to make sure it has enough so you can double up, because eventually you're going to fold it over. So I'm just going to lay it over the top of this design. Move the other design out of the way. And I just take the iron. I have it on the linen setting. You don't need water or anything. You just need it. It's just the heat that melts the wax of the beads. But you can hear it going over the top. You want to make sure you get to all the beads. Just kind of evenly spread it out. Make sure that they all get melted together before you're gonna go eventually and flip them over. You can also kind of see through the wax paper to say, okay, wait, they all look pretty melted. So I'm then gonna just take it. I'm gonna take them, flip the design over, and pull off the tray that it's on. And then I'm gonna take the wax paper, fold over the wax paper in half, and now melt together the other side. This isn't on the beads, there's something on the iron that's causing the red stuff. That's not gonna actually happen. But you just kind of melt together both sides, and then once you finish melting together the opposite side, just be careful if you're young. You might want to ask a parent to do this, because the steam can be it's a hot iron, so just be careful. Once you do that, you just put it to the side and let it cool just a little bit before you take off the wax paper, and then you let it fully cool before we put the magnets on it, because you don't want to try to put the sticky magnets on the hut. It just won't stick together. Just gonna add a little bit more to that corner, just so that's fully melted together. You can add a little bit more to the side you did previously too, just to make sure that when you take it off the wax paper, they don't all fall apart. So now that we finished that one, I'm just gonna put that one down on the floor just so it's out of our way, and now I'm going to do the big cruise boat. The big ones do need a little bit longer with the iron, because you have to make sure you get every piece of it, and they're a little bit more detailed when you're just flipping them over. So just be very careful, make sure you have all the pieces ironed before you even think about flipping them over. So now I'm going to go through and just kind of count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and just you can kind of count out seconds, so you try to evenly iron the whole thing. And some of the different beads, different colored beads, they all aren't exactly made of the same material, because what puts the coloring into it. So some of them just iron better, and some of them melt in a different way than the rest. So just be aware of that some might become really melted, and you don't want to over melt parts of it and under melt other parts, because then it won't stick together. I find that there's just like a few sections that need extra fixing. If you just use the point, that's usually hot, and would allow to just fix those little edges. I'm just going to make sure this side's extra melted, because you can pick which side you want to put the magnets on, so this side just might end up becoming the back if it's really melted and I don't like the look of it. Some people like the look of just the beads, some people like the more melted, blended together look. It's all a personal preference. So now, this one I'm just going to be very careful. You want to make sure you hold the tray when you flip it, just so that even though you're pulling it off the tray, beads don't go flying everywhere and screws it up. I had a big design that I did once, and when I flipped it over, I ended up having to like almost rebuild it on the wax paper because of the tray fell off and pulled off. Some of the beads were still stuck to the tray. So you just want to make sure you're careful of that. So now I'm just going to go through and iron this side of the beads and then let it cool, and then we'll move on to putting on the magnets. So I'll see you guys when these are all cooled off and we're putting on the magnets. Okay, So I finished ironing all the different ones we had. So now the next step is, once they're like somewhat cool, I'm just gonna take the wax paper and slowly peel the wax paper apart off of the beads. You want to be careful, make sure that the beads stay together. If the wax paper sticks, you can usually easily pull that off. I know this is loud. I'm just gonna slowly pull this off. You want to go slow. I know this sounds weird, but you want to go slow but fast, because the faster you go, it actually comes off easy, but you still don't want to go too fast or you'll just rip the wax paper. Because ripping the wax paper then just causes it to stick to the design. So like right there, it's stuck, so I'm just going to have to go through and like pick that off. You want it to be still warm when you do this, or if it's already cold when you do this, usually the wax paper will just stick. So you want to make sure it's still a little bit warm, but not screeching hot, like scalding hot, so you can't even hold the beads. So on this one, the wax paper came all the way off one side, so I'll end up using this as the front, and I'll just put the magnets on the side because the wax paper didn't fully come off that. I'm just going to peel off the wax paper for these other three, and then I'll show you how to put the magnets on. Okay, so we have the finished, I took out the wax paper of all of our different designs. So I have 3 of the boats and 3 of the anchors. So I'm going to end up partnering them together and give them one set to each family in our FE group. So some of these big ones, as you can see, like if you look at this, it's like not flat. So if they start to warp, you can just take them and put them under a heavy book or something, and they'll just flatten back down usually. These ones aren't as bad. These aren't huge. If you do like really big, huge designs, you need to put them under a book or they'll really warp up. Just like anything, when it warms and everything warps. So now I'm going to take these pieces of magnet. So it's just, I have this roll of magnet tape. These are a couple pieces that I already ripped off from previous times. I just got this at Walmart in like their craft section. You can get it at craft stores in different places. You can get them online. So it's just tape. So all you have to do, so I'm going to do probably the anchor first because that one's a little bit more complicated. So I'm just going to just cut with some scissors pieces to go in different sections. I like to make sure I have a section that like is thin and does the section, and then a big piece up here just to have nice solid support, to make sure it like really is gonna stick on it. So these are you just peel out the white, it's nice and sticky, and you just put it on the section you want. On this one, I'm looking at it, okay, so you might be able to see a little bit through, so I'm actually just gonna take my scissors and kind of cut out a little square so that you can't see that section through. So it's a little bit of like a makeshift. I'm gonna cut it down just kind of at an angle. That way you don't see it when you look at from behind. All you see is the design, so it just kind of makeshift angled it. But this just kind of sticks on, and then I'm going to take a couple smaller thin strips that I'm just going to kind of cut one brick off, like one square off, and then I'm going to cut it into like a thin strip at an angle. I'm going to put that right here, and that will become just like the side, and just adds a couple different magnets for support. I've also seen people use just like circular magnets and put a circle there. I like this magnet tape, one, because it's thinner, and even though it's not as strong of a magnet, if you just put enough on it, it still holds on nice to the doors. But you're able to do more with it versus the circle magnets. You kind of can only put them in this upper section. So I put one there, and then I'm going to put one down the middle. So I'm almost like tracing the design with the magnets tape. So okay, I got the top part of the Mickey head, then I got the anchor part. So I have that, and now it just makes a nice magnet, and I'm able to stick it to anything. It just kind of sticks onto a magnet, and you're able to put it on your door and decorate your door with the magnet. So that's the first one. I hope you guys enjoyed making these magnets with me. Remember to check out some of my other videos. I'll have them linked up in the iCard and in the end screen. Remember I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye!